First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakadash. I would also like to give a double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone that do rule well, that have taught me this truth. And I would also like to say a sincere shalom unto the hopeful elect, unto the scattered elect, unto the brothers, the men that are out there prophesying and laboring in this truth and in this doctrine. Unto you I say shalom. The elites are moving into secure areas, if you want to call it secure, but in anywhere in America, Babylon, no one's safe. Okay? But these rich Edomites seem to believe so. All right? And if they were had any brains and any real true smarts, they wouldn't they would leave, they would flee America. They would flee Babylon. Okay, because every inch of Babylon is going to be destroyed. But before it's destroyed, it's going to go through a series of major plagues, epic plagues. Okay, from famine to pestilence to civil war. All right, this place is going to get, America's going to be the worst place to be. But these wicked elite Edomites, all right, I'm pretty sure the majority of them Edomites, okay, they figure they can, move off into an island, a resort life, resort style paradise away from society, and they're going to be cool, okay? But we all know that's not going to happen. It can happen, but it's not. They're not going to survive. They're not going to be comfortable, okay? Because this picture on here, I guess this a neighborhood where it's kind of secluded. It's nothing for a nigga to jump in a boat, to go over there and take your shit. Okay, and I'm just giving it to you, straight, because Jake is going to find a way. When all hell breaks loose and shit hits the fan here in America, Jake is going to find a way to get what they need. All right, and he's going to even have Edomites over there trying to take these people's shit. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit of this article entitled, it says, "Why are elites moving into high security fortresses communities?" All right, and these people are rich, but they ain't wealthy like they ain't the real elites. The real elites ain't got no bunkers here in Babylon. If the wicked elites, they're down in New Zealand, places in Australia, secluded far off. All right, but when the shit is the fan, when the time comes, some of them may survive, but they're going to be the first slaves. Okay, and that's prophesied in the book of Psalms, the 148th chapter, 48th or 49th chapter. Okay, where the kings were going to bind their kings with chains and fetters. Okay, so no one's going to escape their judgment. And these wicked Edomites think that they're going to be able to escape judgment. They're going to be able to escape the plagues, the turmoil of Babylon, and they're going to be clearly mistaken. Okay, they're going to they may have bunkers down there, but it don't matter. It don't matter. The Lord's going to find a way to judge you, Edomites. All right, and a lot of these Edomites, they in their minds, in their wicked minds, they think they're innocent. They think they have nothing to be worried about. So if you ain't got, they think they're good. Okay, but your money won't save you in that day. Okay, your money won't give you ultimate security. Okay, only ones that are going to receive security are the elect, the ones that are going to be preserved and protected during Jacob's trouble, and when the ultimate destruction comes, they're going to be beamed up out of here. All right, so let me read a little bit of this article. I don't want to read it all; it's kind of lengthy, but I'm gonna just hit some key points in it and bring out some precepts, and it's going to show you that no one's secure. Okay, all right, and the elect ain't even secure until they make it on them chariots. Okay, and like I said, the elect will be preserved. They will make it through Jacob's trouble. The Lord will make a way for them to navigate through these trying times, navigate through the plagues, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for everyone. All right, it's going to be tough for the elect. So let me read this. It says the elites aren't stupid. They can see that our society is coming apart and at the seams all around us, and so they want to live someplace safe. In fact, many among the elite security has become the number one priority when choosing a new home. Unfortunately, the vast majority of us do not have the resources to move into high security communities guarded by teams of armed professionals. When things really start hitting the fan, most Americans are just going to have to deal with the chaos that is suddenly erupting around them. These people are going to have to deal with it. You think these armed professionals, armed guards, are going to stay on guard when they got to worry about their own families? Okay. It says, but the ultra wealthy, one benefit of having so much money is being able to shut yourself off from the rest of the world. And who's see thing about it is they don't know. All right, no one knows when the EMP attack is going to happen, when World War III starts, where they don't know if they're going to be able to get to these what they consider a safe haven. Okay, they're bunkers. All right, in Delray Beach, Florida, a community known as Stone Creek Ranch has become extremely trending among the elite for one particular reason. It is heavy armed security unit that watches over it 24 hours a day. On paper, Stone Creek Ranch is prestigious enclave made up of less than 40 luxury homes. It is a world away from Miami, Manalapan, and Palm Beach. It offers no beaches, no celebrity-approved nightlife, and no glitzy designer shopping. Yes, it offers one very particular luxury that is proving to be quite a draw among 1% total, an absolute pricey that is a safeguard by a team of armed professionals who watch over the community. So yeah, like I say, the armed professionals they're gonna eventually leave their post to save their own family. Okay, um, it says, considering how fast conditions in our society are deteriorating, it sounds like a wonderful place, but you will never get to live there unless you have tens of millions of dollars. Last month, Hollywood A-lister Mark Wahlberg made a headlines when dropping $37 million on a newly constructed mega mansion inside the enclave, only to be followed a week later by rockstar energy drink founder Russ Weiner, who is in contract with two properties in the community worth $43 million. That ain't shit. The elites got serious bunkers where they think in their mind that they're gonna live down there for years. All right. But like I said, these Edomites are delusional. Okay, they think you think that you're really gonna that they think that okay they're gonna be safe and America's gonna survive the storm and that's they're gonna return to their life like it was. Okay, it says the island boasts a high tech security system that's straight out of a spy movie, and the list of residents includes Tom Brady and Jeff Bezos. All right, so this is telling it's the rich Edomites that live over in here. Let me see something. Like you. Um, let me see. So you kind of you can get the point. It says all over the nation, crime and violence are out of control. If you have the resources to move somewhere more secure, that is probably a good idea. But of course, most of the population doesn't have the resources to move somewhere more secure. In fact, we have reached a point where millions of people, millions upon millions of Americans are just trying to figure out a way to keep the lights on. So shit is going to get really bad out here. All right, and these Edomites, they have somewhat of a foresight to see that. They're like, let me move over here. Let me get out the city. All right, where our people, Israelites, we don't have. Even if you do have the foresight to see shit is going to hit the fan, we don't have the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have the assets to move and make move money over here and buy a house over here, and that's at the end of the day ain't gonna save you. All right, having a bunker is not gonna save you. Okay, because like I said, when shit hits the fan, you don't know where you're gonna be. Okay, you don't. You could be on vacation. Okay, you could be somewhere where you don't have access to your bunker, and that's gonna happen for a lot of people. All right, a lot of people because they're not mindful of the times. They're not measuring the times. Okay, the times that we're living in. They don't see prophecy like the prophets see it. All right, and they're not hearing. They hear the reports. All right, from the prophets, but they're not hearing the reports. All right, they're not digesting it and understand that the times we're living in are times like never before. That a time of trouble as you're never going to see before. All right, for all people, mainly for our people, Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those Israelites scattered amongst these heathens, okay, that are going to catch it the worst, that are going to really feel the effects of this deteriorating society. They're going to feel the effects of famine, of pestilence, because we're at the bottom. Okay, let me see something. Um, so let me I ain't gonna read too much of this. It says Family lived in the dark for several days a month. Pelu's power was shut off November 13th because of $602 in unpaid bills, the latest of a string of financial humiliations that began 6 months ago after her husband lost his $20 an hour excavation job in a northeastern Pennsylvania. So everyone catching hell. Edomites catching hell, or even these Edomites out here going to catch it. Okay, that but the rich ones, they're making a move for higher ground. Okay, they're making in their mind they're making an escape where they think that they're going to be safe in a secluded area where, hey, shit, the Most High could have a damn hurricane come through and wipe all that shit out, float all that shit out. Okay, so you ain't no one's safe. Okay, it's not going to be it's not going to be a deal where like the storm passes over and everything is good. Like, nah, this storm is going to come and it's going to continue to come and it's going to until it consumes everything in its path. All right, mainly America. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, they're these Edomites. All right, even our stupid ass people are looking for a sense of peace and safety. All right, they're not going to find it because when they think it's peace and safety, when they think it's safe to go out, that's when the sudden destruction from Yahawashi is going to come amongst them. All right, and you can't hide from your judgment. Okay, we didn't hide from we couldn't hide from our judgment. We couldn't run from the curses. And these Edomites, they can't run from their judgment that they're going to receive either. Okay, this is Jeremiah 23 and verse 24, I think. Can any hide himself in a secret place that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord, do I not fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? All right, the Lord sees everything. The Lord, everyone's judgment is already mapped out. It's just a matter of you Edomites, you dumb, you 2/3 niggas just playing it out. Okay, Jacob's trouble is already written. Okay, it's a matter of everyone playing out their children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, my people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. That time is just Jacob's trouble. All right, time is that has never been seen before. Okay, and these Edomites, all right, they're gonna be catching hell. They're gonna be, without food. But the ones that it's made for is Jacob. It's Jacob's trouble. It ain't Esau's trouble. It ain't Moab's trouble. It ain't Elam. It ain't Ham's trouble. It's Jacob's trouble. So Jacob is going to catch the worst of it. Jacob is the one that's going to be getting slaughtered the most out here. Yeah, it's going to be a couple of Edomites going to drop. It's going to be race riots. All right, but the ones that are going to be catching it the worst are you Israelites. Okay, and these Edomites are trying to escape that, but they can't escape it. Okay, you can't run from your judgment. You can, you're gonna have Edomites that's gonna move out of the country. All right, try to move out of America. All right, hey, that's hey, you may survive the you may survive the nuclear destruction, but your ass is still going in the chains. You're still gonna receive your judgment. All right. Isaiah 29:15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? That's what Esau is doing right now. They're trying to hide their counsel. Like, man, I'm gonna just go over here at this little island. I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna chill. And I got food. I got water stored up. I got, these devils really think that you could make that. It's like you can't plan for this. Okay, it's like planning. It's like trying to game plan for a fighter that's never been defeated, that's never been touched, all right, that's never even been punched in a fight. Okay, you got a boxer and he's undefeated, all right, and another boxer has never even landed a punch on him. How do you prepare for that? You can't. Okay, that's a representation of the judgments of the Heavenly Father, or the judgments of the Heavenly Father. They don't miss. The Most High is not gonna miss. Like, he ain't gonna make no mistake. All right, the angels follow. The angels follow the Yahawah's order. They have charge over the angels, and the angels do what the hell the Most High tells them to do. Okay, and they're gonna try to run. They're gonna try to run. These Edomites. Esau think they slick. I'll say that. They think they slick. They think they're gonna try to get away and they're gonna do this and they got all everything. Got everything. These devils think they got everything planned out. They got everything mapped out. Okay, does it do that? This is Amos 5:19. It says, if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand upon the wall and a serpent bit him, all right, there's no way that man, okay, he couldn't flee from his judgment. Okay, he tried to run here and it said a bear met him. He went into the house, leaned his hand on the wall, he got away from the bear, and then the serpent bit him. All right, that's in representation. That's of the judgment that's coming for our people, and that's coming for these Edomites. All right, you like looking upon this. This is like down in Florida, Everglades. Who's to say a bunch of alligators don't come up here and terrorize these Edomites? Okay, they got tennis courts and shit. They think they're gonna be living it up. All right, they're gonna be over in the suburbs while the rest of the world, or mainly Babylon, is being torn to pieces. It ain't, they would like to think that it was gonna be that easy. Well, they just look at the news and listen to their radio and what's going on, and then like, nah, man, it's judgment and prophecy is going to be at everyone's doorstep, no matter how high in the hills you live, or whatever your beachfront property or wherever you at. Okay, you can't escape the judgment. All right, this is Amos. Let me go back to the scriptures. Amos chapter 5 and 5 and excuse me 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them out. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight at the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. All right, so you Edomites, you're not going to be able to escape your judgment. You can go to your space stations, you go to your underwater cities, you can go to your cities, was it Cheyenne Mountain, or whatever, where you think you think you're going to be safe in these mountains, or in these bunkers in these mountains that's hundreds of feet deep. You ain't going to be safe. Okay, they think that the world is gonna end around them. Okay, but but they're gonna survive. They're gonna be all right. The Most High is gonna plague the shit out of you, Edomites, man. Okay, He gonna plague your thoughts. Okay, and like I said, a lot of them ain't gonna make it to those bunkers. They spending all this money on these bunkers, and it's more than likely they ain't gonna make it. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So this is the John the Revelator. He had the vision of the missiles coming down upon Babylon, and he compared it as a stars falling from heaven. And if you and it looked like, when they were where were they shooting those missiles? The film was being shot from Lebanon, but it was just when was it Iraq? Iran was attacking Israel. I think it was Israel, and they were shooting the missiles at night, and it looked like stars falling from heaven. How the missiles came down upon Israel. So, and that was, I want to say that was this year, but that's how John the Revelator saw the vision of this place Babylon being being bombarded with those missiles. Okay, and the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. That's the mushroom crown. Every mountain and island were moved out of their place. Imagine that, being in a mountain thinking you're safe, and the whole damn mountain moves. Okay, being on the island, and the island just is engulfed with water because of a mass a tsunami. Okay, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. What they hiding for? I thought JC was coming to save everybody. Okay, I thought salvation was for everyone. What the hell they hiding for? All right, because they know, they fought, and they fought against Yahawashi. They helped destroy, or at least attempted to destroy, the apple of the Most High's eye, the Israelites. All right, really the elect. Okay, so these Edomites, these 2/3 niggas, they got something to pay for. Everyone's gonna fear when when Yahawashi cracks those clouds and comes in that chariot to do two things, to deliver and to destroy. All right. Verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahawashi. The Yahawashi is coming to bring wrath. For the great day is his wrath. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Okay. So hey, the judgment is coming, man. And you Edomites, you can go up there. You can go to your bunkers, and you can think you safe. All right. You can play like you safe. Play like you're gonna survive it and you're gonna ride it out. But it ain't gonna go down like that. Okay. This is I think it's, what is it? Psalm 149. I'm tripping. 149 and verse 7. Verse 6. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. All right, so that's going to happen. That where we're going to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters. All right, where the wicked elite, the rich of this world, the so-called the wicked elite, the international banking families. Okay, they're going to be bound with chains. Okay, they're going to be the first slaves. These are the ones that are going to survive the nuclear destruction, to survive the destruction. All right, and more than likely, they're not going to be here in Babylon. Okay, these wicked elite, they have bunkers in various parts of the world, and they're probably going to be there, waiting for these chains to be put on their ass. All right, but in their mind, they think they're going to outdo the Most High. They're gonna live through it, and when all the smoke clears, they're going to be back on top. Okay, but if they got a bunker here in Babylon, they through. Okay, because 200 million missiles, nuclear warheads are going to hit this place. This place is not going to be able to be. It's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. It's going to be a monument. Okay, you won't be able to recognize anything in Babylon. You won't see no stadiums, no buildings, nothing. It's the Most High is the judgment for Babylon is just going to be overkill. All right. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the hopeful elect, and I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakwadash, Shalom.